get going. Hello, so this is today's class, and this is our opening photo. And it's about this chap here, and he appears to have traveled the whole world, as in visited every country in the world without flying. So let's read the article. So the article is on theguardian.com. And here we go. So his title, and I think he's the writer of this article. So the title here is, I visited every country in the world without flying. Here are 8 things I learned. That's all quite clear. I'd been very tempted to use the word learnt. So don't put the ed, just put a t there. Essentially, those two words are both equal. I think you can pretty much say that. So learned and learnt are the same, effectively. And the sort of subtitle below that is, spending nearly a decade on the move gave me a deeper understanding of the importance of conversation, people's boundless generosity, and my limitations. And his name is Thor Pederson. Okay, so Elena, you came in first today. Is it okay if you kick off? You have the first reading?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Over to you then.
Okay. I have often felt as if I was born 100 years too late. There was a time when satellites weren't whizzing, whizzing above us and everything had yet to be discovered or filmed. Growing up, it seemed as if all the great adventures had happened before I was born. But in 2013, I discovered that, although it had been attempted, no one had made an unbroken journey through every country without flying. I had a shot at becoming the first to do it. I was fascinated that such an adventure was still out there, untouched. However, I was in my 30s. I had just met a wonderful woman, my peers have having their first children, and in some cases their second, and I had a 12-year career in shipping and logistics. But I couldn't let the idea go. So at, at 34, I set off and didn't return home until almost a decade later. There are the lessons I learned along the way.
Okay, that's fantastic. I understood absolutely everything there. That was very
Oh,
good, I thought.
thank you.
Okay, well done. Anything you want to question about the little bit there we just read, or you just read, I should say? Must be there was a word in the second line, I think you looked at a couple of times. Or anything else? The meanings or the pronunciation?
Mm, yeah, everything was clear for me. Yes, I
Oh, that's
understood
great.
the
That's
sense.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So, what does this word mean then? That one there, towards the top. Highlight.
Wheezing,
Yeah, what does it mean though?
flying, maybe flying above us, like drones or
Yeah, it could be that.
planes,
Yes, it definitely
aircraft.
does mean that,
Mhm.
but not just that. So it is a few different things. It could simply be the noise it's making, and that's vaguely the noise. The sound of the word is vaguely the noise it might make. Bzzz,
Uh,
something
like a
like
bee.
that. So
Yeah.
it could be like that, but whizzing could also mean just the speed it's moving at. So it couldn't doesn't just have to be flying. It could be someone perhaps running on the ground as normal. So he went whizzing along, maybe. You could perhaps say that. So it's a few different meanings. It's sort of hidden in there.
Hmm.
But it is satellites,
It's
so
like a
yeah.
flying
So
with noise
um, I
or
think it's
rushing very fast.
rushing past very fast. Let's
Yeah.
pop it into the dictionary. Oh, that's wily there, isn't it? I'll put whizzing in. Let's see what it says. Oh, see whiz. So let's do that then. So oh, it's just below. Oh blast! I clicked on whiz. Bit of a trick that. So if something whizzes, oh dear. If something whizzes somewhere, it moves there very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically speed they're highlighting. And they then talk. If you're a whiz at something, you're very good at it. But I would say, I think there's an idea of flying too in it. So buzzing sound. Yeah, yeah. I think there's an idea of flying in it too as well. I couldn't actually see it there, but I think it is. I think it is flying too. Um, but not absolutely for definite. So it's a few different things. Anything else that we thought about there? Actually, with that word there, could you just say that, pronounce it again? So whizzing. I'm saying it as whizzing.
Wheezing, wheezing,
Yeah.
wheezing.
Yeah. Your last one is more like a V sound you're sticking at the beginning. The H is silent, basically, so ignore the H if you can. And so it's whizzing. Whoa,
Wheezing,
whoa.
wheezing,
Okay.
wheezing.
It still sounds a bit V-like, a bit sort of like
Mhm,
10, 20% of a V sound in there. So I can't quite copy exactly what you're doing, but it's just do the lips in a circle. Make the lips like into so your lips got a
mhm,
small hole. Perhaps you
mhm,
could put your little finger in it or a pen. And that's really where you start off with the W sound, with your lips like that. Maybe
mhm.
open up a little bit. Whizzing.
Wheezing, wheezing,
Okay.
wheezing,
Okay. Let's get in there, I think, that one. Whiz. Whoa, whoa.
wheezing.
Okay. I think you're getting there, I think. So maybe that's one to practice. Anything else? Any other words or anything? Any other words? I think you understood the meaning you were saying. But any pronunciation that you particularly struggled with or you know you're weak on or something
Uh,
that you noticed? Well, while you're thinking, so there's a V in this word. There was two or three words with the word discover because
this.
he's traveling. He's discovering lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he? So this word came up two or three times, and the other one was that had a V in it. Was this one here? So adventure, and that was again two or three times. Perhaps I can't remember
Adventure,
now.
adventure,
So
discover.
we'll just do both of these words. So discovered,
Mm-hmm.
discovered.
Discovered.
Ah, that's a lot better. And then maybe the adventure. So add and then venture is what we say really. So
Adventure.
yeah, that's it. Adventure. That's it. That's it. Your V in both of those words, your V was just a bit too strong, I think, really. But you're doing it. You're pretty much there now, I would
Yeah,
say.
because of my native language, we don't have
Yeah,
any sounds.
it's completely new
Yeah,
to you, is
yeah.
it? The V sound. I didn't realize that.
Wonderful, for example.
Yeah, that's
Wonderful
yeah,
woman.
that's it. You've got it. So yeah, wonderful woman. That's it. Wonderful woman. Um,
My peers, it's like a friend, colleagues, colleagues, my peers.
it's when you say peers, it isn't quite so friendly. It's sort of it's people who are your equals, really.
Mm,
Perhaps equal in age, or equal in power, or equal in money, maybe. People who are like you, but you may not even know them. You may know of them. You may see them on television or something like that. So that sort of a thing. But you may know them too, of course.
mm-hmm.
That's the meaning in, hidden in there, I guess, really. There was something else near the bottom. What was it now? Well, the word, I remember the word. I can't see it there, so let me just type it up. If I can spell. Strange, I just can't see it. Perhaps I imagined it. Have I spelled it correctly? Three T's and attempted. I'm sure that's not right, is it? So this word here, can you just try that one again? That one there.
Attempted,
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. So attempted, attempted. Try again.
attempted.
Okay, okay. You're staying about the same, I would say there. Um, anything else? What I think? Have you did you notice anything you wanted to go over Ilya that you thought might be interesting to just practice again? I can't think of anything else.
No, I think it's good. No.
Okay. I think when you said these down here, this was the only word which I sort of struggled for half a second to think what you were saying, and then sort of realised. But I think I've mainly worked it out from the rest of the sentence. So it's the th sound I think was a bit off there on this one.
Mhm.
So just read those last two sentences again, and it's really the th word there.
Mhm.
So I'll read it first of all. So at 34 I set off and didn't return home until almost a decade later. These are the lessons I learned along the way. So you'll go.
Mhm. So at 34, I set off and didn't return home until almost a decade later. These are the lessons I learned along the way.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good. That's pretty good how you said it there. So these. So let's just quickly do it over here. So there's one word that can be, it sounds vaguely similar sometimes when people are practicing these two words together, but they are different. I mean, they are related, obviously, but they are obviously different in this case. You could say this is the plural version of this in
Mhm.
one sense.
Plural, yeah.
So these, and this. Could you do both of those words for me?
These, this,
This, okay. So when you said this one, it's more like this. When you said it, this.
this,
Oh, that's getting better. That's getting better. So I'll just read them again, and then it's your go. So these, this.
this, this,
Yeah. Okay. And once again, so these and this. Your go.
this,
Okay. This one went to a little bit like Z's, and I think that's how you said it originally down here. Z's. So try to get the TH again. So we'll just do this one for the moment. So these.
this,
Uh,
this.
Okay. Yeah, the last one was the best one. The two sort of mistakes that happen is it can turn into, some people make this into a Z sound, and you've done that a few times. I think that's the big weakness. I think sometimes, and it's quite difficult for some people. Germans tend to turn this into a D sound, the th into a D, and I think once you turned it into a D, a D, so D's. That's one way. That's one sort of mistake kind of a thing. So just look out for that. Listen to yourself. Am I making that into a D sound or perhaps a Z sound? That's the two sort of mistakes, most common mistakes. So we'll leave that one for the moment. Let's go to this one.
Mhm.
So this, you'll go.
This.
Your second one was the best one. Your first one
Mhm.
wasn't too bad, but it was a bit off, bit off. Let's get in there. Let's get in there. Well done. Um, I can't. Oh, there was. So So your R here at the beginning of this particular word is really quite strong. So if I just say the word for you, so return. Oh, once again, for you,
R-
could you?
ret- return, return,
Yeah, okay,
return.
yeah. It's just a bit heavy.
Mhm.
I can understand what you're saying, so that's not really a problem. But an accent is really coming through quite strongly. Out of all of the letters that you're saying on that screen, I would say that's the one letter that really sticks
Mm,
out. Beyond, then maybe after that is the W and then the
mhm,
V. So that's the three odd letters I would say which are your trickiest sounds. So listen out when you're perhaps listen to people talking, friends talking, native English speakers maybe, or
mhm.
listening to the radio. Listen to how they say words, like say like return and the R's in particular, along with the W's and the V's, and just try to work out, or try to guess how they're doing it. Even ask them if you're friends, maybe show them face to face, and they might give you a little clue. I think yesterday we talked about this, didn't we? So with the R, I think my mouth is basically open at the front, but my tongue is sort of just half flipped up. It's not touching the roof of my mouth. It's sort of somewhere in the middle. And it's not on the bottom of my mouth sort of thing. It's sort of half flipped up, and it's like the tip is flipped up, not like the whole body of the tongue. If that makes any sense. And if you're making an L sound, l, your tongue has to reach the roof of your mouth. But if you only go halfway, that would be the R sound. Does that make sense? So
Mm.
that's really what I'm doing. And my
Yeah.
mouth is basically open most of the time, perhaps even all the time, I think. Ruh, ruh. I suppose I am closing my mouth a little bit, but it is still, I can still get, say, two fingers in my mouth, in between my lips, sort of a thing. So I'm sort of doing something
Yeah.
with my, yeah.
Mm.
So maybe just watch people, how they do it on television, maybe, or friends, or whatever, and just see, especially with words that start with an R, to see. Um, and when there's an R in the middle of the word, say return,
Return. Return.
really in this case, it's the English is a bit weird, as you probably know. When there's a vowel with an R, those two letters make one sound, and it's not really an R sound.
Mm-hmm.
I think in that case it's a sort of an sound, isn't it? When the U and R together make an sound.
Return.
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 So,
Return.
so although it's an R, often, not absolutely always, but very often when it's in the middle of the word, it's making another weird sound because it's next to a vowel. Say like first. It's making an
Yeah.
sound there. So
Yeah.
when the R is with a vowel, it makes it just a weird sound of its own sort of a
Mm-hmm.
thing. It's tricky language, isn't it? When it comes towards the end of the word, you are sort of making an R sound, but it's really subtle. And some people don't make an R sound at all. But it's a very slight R sound when it's often when it's at the end of a word.
Peers. Peers.
Yeah, yeah. So peers. Yeah. So what I'll do, I'll read the whole of this thing back. So look out for the W's, the V's, and the R's if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll probably make a few mistakes. So here we go. So I have often felt as if I was born 100 years too late. There was a time when satellites weren't whizzing above us, and everything had yet to be discovered or filmed. Growing up, it seemed as if all the great adventures had happened before I was born. But in 2013, I discovered that although it had been attempted, no one had actually made an unbroken journey through every country without flying. I had a shot at becoming the first to do it. I was fascinated that such an adventure was still out there untouched. However, in I was in my 30s. I had just met a wonderful woman. My peers were having their first children, and in some cases their second, and I had a 12-year career in shipping and logistics. But I couldn't let the idea go, so at 34 I set off. I didn't return home until almost a decade later. These are the lessons I learned along the way. So there we go. Does that raise any questions that anyone wants asking? I didn't read it perfectly. I'm not a perfect reader or anything. With this word here, I sometimes pronounce the T. Most people don't pronounce the T. I think about 20% of people say,
Often.
yeah, most people say often, but I'd say a small number of people pronounce the T and making it often. But it's unusual. So let's scroll on then. So that's a picture of Swalki Station. It says this here. So that's in Poland, isn't it?
Yeah.
Northern Poland. Okay. So, Ilya, this is
Oh.
your one. Okay. Do you want to read the little title and carry on?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Human generosity can be astounding. It was a cold, dark night in December. A train had brought me to Suwałki, which people say is the coldest city in Poland. It was quiet. Snow was falling, but otherwise everything was still. I was carrying a piece of paper with a name, a phone number, and an address for where I was supposed to be staying. I had no SIM card, so I began walking, looking for someone who could help me. Just as I was beginning to wonder if I would ever meet anyone, a woman opened her front door. I dashed over. Luckily, she spoke English and invited me in. She was happy to host me and convinced me there was no point in heading back out into the cold. I was quickly given a full plate of food and a spare bed. All this from a stranger. The next day, I was served breakfast and taken to the bus that would carry me to Lithuania.
Fantastic. Really, really good reading. Very, very good. From memory, I would say you're better today than the last time. That would have been last year, wouldn't it? I think when you came along last year, or when I saw you, whenever it was last, I think. I'd say you're definitely better. Have you been practicing? Have you been, concentrating on
No,
language? Oh,
no, I
well.
wasn't practicing now. I just was walking, just fully walking full days. No, so
Well, no, I think you're definitely better. Definitely better, I would say. Um, but there weren't any V's there, or very few V's. It was invited, but okay. So let's. I thought it was very good. Well done. So I didn't really notice a great deal. Anything you want to go back over again? I'm sure you probably understood everything there. Anything you noticed?
no, I understand everything.
Okay,
But just
good.
in terms of pronunciation, maybe.
So subtleties, really. So there's this word here, and often where you get a double L together, it's very tempting to say something like still. And I think you did that. So it's very tempting, and quite a few people do this. English speakers do this as well. They make the double L into like a W sound. So another example would be, have I spelled it correctly? So million, and even or millionaire. So that might to get the double L would turn to a W. Sorry, yeah, a W sound. They say millionaire, millionaire. So it's a bit of an East End thing, a little bit. And but really, wherever there's a double L, there's a
Mm.
temptation to make that sound. You slightly did it. You sort of half did it there, I think, or maybe that's what I heard. I could be wrong, of course. And I think I lost where you were actually, so I was a bit confused there. Maybe this word here. Um, uh, let's just copy it. I thought. Hang on a second. The W was great. No problem with the W sound. Let's listen. I'll just tap this in here. So taking a moment to find something. Always jerks down, doesn't it? Okay, so if you wonder about something, you think about it either because it interests you. So yeah, okay. So I'm just trying to think which one you said now. I can't remember which one you said. So I was. So I've put an A there. I changed the O to an A. Let's look at the slight difference. So it's still a real word. So this is
Wander.
wander. So if you're now he was walking, and I think you said he wandered. It's only a minor detail really. So it's actually wonder, and I think you said wander, but I might be wrong. But it is very tempting because it was. So he's not wandering around. He's wondering, isn't he? So he's thinking about something, worrying, isn't he? There. That's all I really noticed there. So wander and wonder, easy to trip up on, I think.
So how do you pronounce this one? Is it wonder or wonder?
Here it's wonder.
Wonder.
Yeah, so although it's an O, I often think of that as a U, I should say. So a U. It's sort of a U-y sound, I think of it as. Wonder. I was beginning to wonder if I would ever meet anyone. So, and if it was an A, then it's wander. Then it sounds like an O, really, I suppose, really. So when it's an A there, that's when you're walking around lost, maybe. So that's wander. Wander.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, there was something else. Anything you noticed or weren't sure about? bottom. There's something else there. I can't think what it was now.
Can I ask you, please? I dashed
Yes.
over. Is it correct?
Yes, I dashed.
The
Yeah.
second
Yes.
paragraph.
Yeah. 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 That's how it said. Yeah. So I dashed. Yes, dashed. So on my keyboard here, I have a little key, and it's dash or a hyphen.
Mm.
That's the same word basically, but with an ed in this case. So he ran over. He rushed over. That's sort of what it means. That's what dashed means. Let me just. There was another word. I can't think what it was now. Oh, didn't I couldn't find it. So yeah. So I can't remember how this went now. So is it okay to just reread that little bit there, Ilya? Is that
Yeah.
okay?
She was happy to host me and convince me there was no point in heading back out into the cold.
Okay. So let me read it then. So she was happy to host me and convinced me there was no point in heading back out into the cold. Okay, yeah, that's great. Um, I can't remember what it was now, but yeah, it was just the word happy. It wasn't quite right. So maybe let's just reread that. I'll just reread that bit there. And could you reread the whole thing again after I've read it? So just as I was beginning to wander, I made the same
Wonder.
mistake. Yeah, thank you. Just as I was beginning to wonder if if I would ever meet anyone, a woman opened her front door. I dashed over. Luckily, she spoke English. She spoke English and invited me in. She was happy to host me and convinced me there was no point in heading back out into the cold. So, wonder. Okay, your go. That paragraph.
Yeah. Um, just as I was beginning to wonder if I would ever meet anyone, a woman opened her front door. I dashed over. Luckily, she spoke English and invited me in. She was happy to host me and convinced me there was no point in heading back out into the cold.
Yeah, I think what it is when you're saying it's sort of in the middle when you're saying this.
Wonder,
Yeah, that's much clearer then. Yeah. So what? Do you want to just do both of them? So wonder and wander.
wonder, wonder.
Well, they do sound, when you're saying them, they sound quite similar, I should say. Yeah. So maybe you said the correct one, and it just sounds like you're a bit in the middle, sort of a thing. So, and obviously I got it wrong as well. So let's just do both versions again. So I think one as being having a U there. I know it's obviously an O here. So wonder, 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 and wander, wonder and wander.
Wonder, wonder.
Mm. They still sound they are fairly close anyway, I should say, but I think they're a little bit closer when you're saying them. So that's something to think about. That
Mm-hmm.
sound
Okay.
there. So be aware of that maybe, and just maybe when you have 5 minutes, pump it into the dictionary here and listen to it yourself.
Wander.
Wander,
Wander.
wander. It's always a bit confusing having an A there, as to in terms of the sound, isn't it? So wander.
Wander.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to say it again now? That just the wander version.
Wander.
Wonder,
Okay. Wander.
wonder.
Um, So they actually say here give a little bit of emphasis to the A as well. So that's like the loudest part you might say in the whole word, the A. So giving emphasis to it. I wonder. I'm not quite sure. I wonder if that's where you give emphasis when it's wonder, wonder and wander. Hmm. Maybe they are the same too. It's very similar, I should say. Yeah, they again say they underline the vowel at the beginning, so they're saying both of those times that word gets the emphasis there, and so this is wonder,
Wonder.
wonder. Tricky. Okay, just be aware of it maybe at the moment, and hopefully as you hear it, other people using it, you sort of tune
Mhm.
in. But it is quite similar, we'll say that. Very similar sounds. And towards the bottom, there was this word here. There's lots of different ways of pronouncing this word, strangely. I think in the southeast, we tend to say it as food, food. Let's just pop it into the dictionary. I did click on it then. I think it's a bit slow today. There we go. So food, food. Let's listen to how they say it.
Food.
Food,
Food.
food. Do you want to just say that again,
Food.
Ilya?
Food.
Okay. I
Food
think
or food?
f yeah, it's the vowel in the middle, I think. I think also it the length of time that they're saying it, I think you just stretch it very slightly. So I'm in the middle, I'm saying it for a longer period of time, I think, than what you're saying it for. So food, food, food.
Food.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's it, really. Yeah, that's it. I would say that's it, yeah. Um, so the Scottish will say that slightly differently, and you will hear lots of different variations on this. But in the southeast, I would think that's probably the most common way. So I think in Scotland it's food, yeah, food, something like that. So it's quite interesting. And being such a basic thing, everyone 3 times a day we're thinking about this, or cooking it, or preparing, or shopping for it. So it, it and maybe so that's another sort of an ooh sound. So there was another word, and I thought it was right next to it. Isn't that strange? I can't see it. There's the other
Spare bed.
word. So say again.
Spare
Spare.
bed. Yeah.
Spare. Maybe we could
Spare bed.
practice that. We could practice that too, actually. But so we just did food, but the other word was this word. So it's obviously spelled completely differently, but it's
Mm.
quite similar in the pronunciation, isn't it? So if I just say both of them, so food and wood, wood.
Mm.
Just do the wood for me.
Wood.
Yeah, it's just slightly different, I think, how I'm saying it. So obviously it's exactly the same as this word here. I say obviously, because it's not obvious, but let's just pop it into the dictionary. So let's listen to this word again.
Food.
Food. Now, it is a double O, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's pronounced any longer, I would suggest, but that's my belief, but others tell me I'm wrong. So let's listen to their one here. So I think they're saying the vowel sound in the middle is different. So let's listen to how they say wood.
wood,
Wood. So food and wood.
Mm.
Can you just say wood?
wood,
Wood. Wood.
Yeah, it's just slightly different, isn't it? I think what you're saying. So I'll let them play. I'll let them say it. Then it's your go. So them.
wood,
Now your go, Ilya.
Wood.
Ah, getting better, I think. Getting better. Um, let's do it once again. Then we'll go to the other word. So
wood,
wood. Your go.
Wood.
Ah, that's definitely better there. So let's do this one. Now I'm not quite sure if they'll have exactly the same pronunciation. Let's see if they do. Slightly different, actually, they say, but oh, there's a strong and a weak version, they say. So let's do the strong one.
Wood.
Hmm. And again,
Wood.
wood, wood. I suppose it's slightly longer, more deliberate, isn't it? Would. So would you do that? So let's play it again, and then it's your go, Ilya.
Mm.
Wood.
So I'll do it once more, then it's your go.
Wood.
Would. So your go, Ilya.
Wood.
Yeah, that's pretty good, I would say. That's pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty good. So maybe look out for that one. But it's good enough that I can easily understand what you're saying. But there's just a slight accent in there, I think. Very, very slight accent. So it was the still word, so double L, it sometimes it sounds like a W sound at the end, but some people, some English speakers do that, but it's probably not the best. I think a lot of people look down on that sound when people turn that into a W. So be aware of that with double L's. I think all is when it's the word all, people don't really make that mistake, turn that into a W, I don't think, but anything's possible. Let's just quickly do this one again here. So this is about not being sure of something. So it's wonder. So you're wondering. I'm just wondering if I'm old enough to see this film. So wonder. And the other one's wander. So wonder and wander. They do sound the same, don't they? Maybe I'm saying it wrong. So it's more of an ah. The O there is really making an ah sound. Wonder. Under. And wander. So do you want to just say both of them?
Mm-hmm. Wonder. Wonder.
Yes, that's really clear. That's as clear as it can be, I think. I think you really have it there. That's it. You've really got it there. We won't do it again because it's so easy to go backwards sometimes. That's very good. So a great read there, I thought. So Elena, are there any other questions that you noticed, or Ilya, anything else you noticed? Otherwise, we'll move on and go back to
No,
Elena.
I think it's good.
Okay, great. Okay, let's scroll on then. We saw that photo at the beginning. Fantastic. We noticed that I think these are red hot pokers, which I see growing in people's gardens when I go outside sometimes. That is in Lesotho. Okay, so Elena, you got that section there. You've got a whole screen full.
Mhm.
Hope it's not too much for you, Elena.
Tony, I probably need to leave now.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Yes.
Go
Okay.
back to work.
Oh, back to work then.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks
All
for
right. See you
coming.
next time.
See you soon.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mhm,
Okay, so this is your bit here then, your second
mhm.
go.
Okay, I'm going. There are still some hidden and spectacular.
Can I just stop you? So the very first word is the TH one. Can you give it
Ah,
another go?
there
So,
are.
yeah,
There
that's
are.
it. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
There are still some hidden and spectacular natural wonders. Lesotho was country number 106 on my very long journey. Its natural beauty was immediately apparent. The whole state sits above 1,400 meters. It was suggested I go higher up into the mountains to Semankong. I wasn't prepared for what I saw. Was I in Ireland, Austria, Bhutan, or Bolivia? I went for a long walk across a spectacular green landscape. Birds chirped in a high grass. The air was extraordinarily fresh. The sun shone on my face from the dark blue sky. The mountains of Lesotho are horse country. Every now and again, riders draped in, in thick blankets would pass. Then I reached Maletusiani Falls. The nearly 200-meter waterfall was glistening in the sun at the end of a canyon, and I had it all to myself. Further?
Carry on. It might as well carry the rest onto
Mhm.
the bottom of the page, I think.
Mhm.
Do you want to read to the bottom of the page? Is that okay? This bottom bit here.
Yeah.
Okay.
People's residence is powerful. In 215, I traveled through Western Africa. At the time, Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia was dealing with the world's largest Ebola outbreak. A taxi driver in Guinea said to me, Here we have everything, but we have nothing. These countries are rich in many ways, from natural resources to beautiful landscapes, yet most of the people are not.
There's some tricky words there, and there's some names which are quite
Yeah,
difficult. I wouldn't know how to pronounce that name. I
Ma-
liked how you had a good go at it. Um,
Maletsuniani.
I've not seen this name before, and I won't even give it a go because presumably we won't come across this name ever again. But I think your guess, if looking at it then, so I'd be very tempted to say mallet, and then sun, and then yarn, maybe, or yane, perhaps. Mallet, sun, yane.
Maletsunyan.
I'd be so mallet, mallet, sun,
Maletsunyan.
yeah,
So,
something like that. Yes,
mhm.
but it is quite tricky. And that's because with my English eyes, I can see sort of three sort of English sort of sounding sort of syllables there. But good reading, I thought. Very good reading.
Mm,
So any words you want to what you want to double check how to pronounce that you know
Yes.
you're not sure on? With,
Semankont.
with
Semankont.
again, that's another
Mhm.
word, another name I should say that I've never heard of this name before. But your guess was as good as mine. I think you're spot on really. Semenkong, yeah, something like that. That's it.
Semankont.
But I don't know. I've not heard of it before. So that's
Birds chirped. Chirped?
yes,
Chirped?
yeah. So I think there's a couple of ways of saying this. So chirrup, I would have said chirruped, chirruped, believe it or not, but I'm not 100% certain. So let's just tap it into the dictionary. Listen to them. I'll say chirruped, chirruped.
Chirp. I
But
said
let's listen to
chirp.
what they say because I'm not 100%. I think there's a couple of ways of saying this, but oh, there's no ed on the end of it. Let's play the ed version.
chirped,
Oh, chirped. My mistake. So without the
Chirped. Chirped.
so yeah, chirped,
Chirped.
chirp,
The birds chirped.
chirp.
Chirped.
Chirp is
Mhm.
more of an sound. The I and the R making a sort of an sound. Try that sort of an
Chirped.
chirped, chirp,
Chirped.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Chirped. Mhm.
That's pretty good. It doesn't get a. The only places I really see this is in descriptive writing or poetry when people trying to express emotion in everyday language. You don't really hear this word used really. So it's relatively uncommon. Indeed, I struggled to pronounce it just myself then. So I said chirruped. I think I said chirruped, didn't I? But these
So
places.
this man use a very unusual language.
Say
So
again, sorry.
this man, this traveler, has
Mm.
an unusual language. So rich language.
His name was Thor, wasn't it? So it doesn't sound like an Englishman as
Ah,
such, but his language is
maybe
fantastic.
translation from
It
his
might be a
name.
translation, but but if he's traveling the whole world, I have a strong suspicion he must just know must know a few languages, I suspect.
But I
And
suppose,
The
mhm,
Norwegians do often know English. That's
yeah,
my experience.
I
So
just wanted to say in all Scandinavian countries, people know
yeah,
English very well,
yes, that's right.
like a
But
second language.
that's right there. That's yeah. There must. And I knew a lady from there, and she was taught in English. That was one of the ways she learned, I think. So these place names here are quite well known, and everyone would know how to pronounce these. On the whole, I would say. And your pronunciation was pretty good, I thought. But this one here isn't quite so well known. It's probably the least
Bhutan,
known. Yeah, that's it. You've got it. That's spot
uh-huh.
on. Bhutan. That's how I would say it. Yeah. And maybe your Bolivia was.
Bolivia,
You're saying Bolivia. So we say Bolivia, more Bolivia.
Bolivia,
Yeah,
Bolivia,
more like that. So
mhm.
Bolivia. Oh. Bolivia. Bolivia. Okay.
Bolivia,
Yeah, that's better. I'll leave it at that one. Yeah, that's it. And maybe this one too. So we say this as Lesotho. Lesotho.
Lesotho, Lesotho,
Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Um, Again, anything you spot, just ask about. And just above it, this word here, thinking about it. So could you say that one again for me in the title?
spectacular,
Yeah, yes, base pretty much, but it's more like spectacular. Spectacular.
Spectacular.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You're linking up a bit
Yeah,
better.
more
That's it.
softer, more softer.
Yes,
Spectacular.
spectacular. Yes. And there was another word at the beginning. I can remember the word, but oh yeah. So just this simple word there. Just that one again for me.
Above,
Yeah, you're splitting up a little bit. So I say above.
above,
Above.
above,
That's it.
above.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Above.
And I can't remember if it was this reading or the previous one. I think it was this one actually. When you came to this number down here, or date, I should say, or year,
In
I think it's
2015.
yeah. I think you said 215. I think you said something like that.
Maybe
Yeah, yeah. I
215.
make loads of mistakes.
2015.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I think some people say 2015. I tend to say 2015. That's what I
Mm.
say. But I think it's 50-50. Some people, half people say 2015, but others say 2015. Oh, and there was this word here. I can't.
Canyon? Canyon?
Yeah, pretty almost. So canyon,
Canyon. Canyon.
Yep, you've
Just
got it.
accent. Stress. Just yeah.
Yeah,
Canyon.
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 That's it. And we sort of run it together. It's one sound, pretty much. I would say
Canyon.
Well,
Canyon.
I suppose there's two syllables, but it's said so quickly. Canyon that you can't really hear
Canyon.
it.
Canyon.
Canyon. That's it. And there was this other place name here. So I think you were saying Guinea.
Guinea.
But we
Guinea
don't.
pig.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's. So I think that in the world there are three countries that have this name in their name. So there's three Guineas around the world. There's Papua New
Mm.
Guinea. That's halfway around the world, and there's two Guineas in Africa. So this is Guinea. Guinea. That's it.
Guinea.
I think you've got it.
Guinea.
And in the title again, I think this word here. Say that whole title again. The whole title.
People's resilience is powerful.
That's it. That's a lot better actually. That's very good. So the first time you read it out, it wasn't quite so fluid. So resilience.
Resilience. Resilience.
Yeah, that's getting it. Resilience.
Resilience.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It might want a bit more practice, but you've pretty much got it, I think. So, and maybe that word there, I think it might have been the R in the middle, but so do you want to say it again?
Draped. Draped.
Yeah, the R's a bit hard. So draped.
Draped. Draped.
You can hardly hear the R, can you really? So draped.
Draped.
That's it. Yeah, you got it. You've got it. Anything else? There's always something. I think it was perhaps that one there came out as quite a strong Z when you said it. You had this. That was you had it. You had that right there. That th was good. But when you came to here, you lost it a bit. I think that was a strong Z hole.
No, the whole.
Yeah. Ah, that's really good. That's a very good the. You said then. That's very good. Well done. You can do it. But it's difficult concentrating, isn't it? And maybe that word there, because maybe it was there's two R's there. So how would you say that one?
Prepared.
Yes. So prepared.
Prepared. Prepared.
Prepared.
Prepared.
Okay. So it's almost 7 o'clock in London. So do you have to shoot off? I think you indicated you might have to shoot off. As in, when I say shoot off, that means go quickly on time.
I don't mind.
No, okay.
It's okay.
So can we just practice that little bit there? So you see, some of the tricky words are in it. So do you want to redo that bit again there in yellow?
Yeah.
So
I wasn't prepared for what I saw. Was I in Ireland, Austria, Bhutan, or Bolivia? I went for a long walk across a spectacular green landscape. Birds chirped in the high grass. The air was extraordinarily fresh. The sun shone on my face from the dark blue sky.
Really good, really good. So I think you said extraordinary.
Yeah, extraordinary.
But it's got an ILY on the end of it. So how would you say that one? It's basically the same word, but with a slightly extra longer ending. It's slightly different. So can you give it another go?
Extraordinarily.
That's it. That's it. Extraordinarily. That's it.
Yeah, I haven't noticed it really.
Hmm.
Thank you, you noticed it.
Yes. Okay. It's funny, isn't it?
Extra,
So
extraordinarily. Yeah.
I also meant to mention this word here. I think you've read this out twice as island.
Island.
But it isn't.
Isn't
Yeah. What is try say look at it again?
Iceland?
That's it. That's it.
Iceland.
That's it.
It's like a
Cool.
shop. Yes.
Like the shop. Yeah, do you go there? So there's a shop called Iceland in Britain, isn't there? That's right. Okay. So let me just read that one back to you. So the prepared, that's a word I think you do need to practice a little bit, I would say. But you're pretty good on it. I can understand it, but it just sounds a little bit heavy. So here's my go then, reading that same chunk out. So I wasn't prepared. So when I'm saying and your wasn't maybe is pretty good, but that one might need a bit of practicing too. So I wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared. That's so you can hear it a little bit there. So I wasn't I wasn't prepared for what I saw. Was I in Iceland, Austria, Bhutan, or Bolivia? I went for a long walk across a spectacular green landscape. Birds chirruped or chirped in the high grass. The air was extraordinarily fresh. The sun shone on my face from the dark blue sky. There we go. I overdid the excitement I was trying to put into it there, but there you go. So I'm still saying that it's chirruped,
Mm-hmm.
but they're saying chirped, aren't they? They're saying
Chirped. Chirped.
yeah, chirped.
Chirped.
Yeah, I think with your EDs, it's sort of it's a bit heavy when doing the EDs, the ending sometimes. So it
Chirped.
chirped, yeah, chirped.
Chirped.
Yes, yeah, that's getting it. That's getting you're getting the idea. That's it. Great. That's really good. So are you a great traveler? So obviously this guy is gone crazy. Have you been to any of these places? Would you like to
Not
go
in,
to any of these
not in
places?
Bhutan, not in Lesotho, of course.
Hmm. Well, why not? What was wrong with Lesotho? I
Because in
think.
some countries are very dangerous to visit them. I can't
Well, just
imagine
just go
how.
with a strong man, someone who looks frightening. But there is a case of often ladies are quite clever where what's dangerous. So just have your danger, you know, senses heightened and avoid them.
Yeah, because maybe by nature, women are
Mm.
more
Yeah, sensitive and
sensitive.
protective
Yeah.
of themselves. Yeah, that's very true. I obviously understand. So maybe now he seemed to have gone round. Now someone else has taken this photo for him, hasn't they? And I suspect someone actually went round with him. So,
Sometimes, not every time,
oh,
maybe.
oh, have you read the article completely then? Have you?
No, I
Oh,
didn't read. I didn't
no, no.
read it, but I suppose
Yeah.
somebody took a picture of him.
When we looked at this little, oh, there we had another picture, another sort of frame here, didn't we? Another tab, I should say. So this is just the photo, but there was some credits to the photos, and it was the same person. I noted, I thought was being credited in some of the photos. So it says here, photograph courtesy of Thor Pederson.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it must be his camera he gave to a friend to take the photo, I guess. I don't know why I'm going into such detail about it. And the Swelky Gap's quite famous. The Swelky Gap. So that's there.
It's famous from the war, from the first war or second war.
Or was it? I didn't know that.
I don't know.
Well,
Mm.
nowadays it's a few miles gap between two Russian territories, isn't it? So there's Belarus and the new name for Königsberg. I forgot what that's called now. What's the new name for Königsberg?
Kaliningrad.
Yeah, Kaliningrad. Yes. So this is Lesotho, isn't it? This one. That is astonishing, isn't it,
Yeah,
really?
it's like from the movies
Yes,
of
it's almost made up. It could be
Hobbits movies.
CGI or something, couldn't it? It's too beautiful. He looks a bit rough. His hair's a bit messy. And now he actually looks quite thin, doesn't he? He looks quite thin. So I, so how did he? He was away for 10 years walking. How on earth did he afford to do it? How did he feed himself? Did he work a little bit? Any
Yes, he
ideas?
must to think about food, about drink,
Mm.
about visas sometimes. So
Yeah, of course,
he has to
visas.
have money for that at
Yeah.
time.
But he did say something about he had a lovely woman. He, and it wasn't quite clear if he left her or he sort of broke up with her, or maybe they said, "See you in 10 years.
Uh,
Can you send me through my visas and that £1,000 I have in the bank? Can you send me £100 every year or something? Probably about £10,000, £1,000
yeah.
pounds."
Have you ever heard about the famous Russian traveler Fyodor Konyukhov? He
Oh, I
has
have
a
no.
Fyodor Konyukhov. Maybe you can find
Is it
something about.
anglicized anyway? Is it? Because is it anglicized? Is there an anglicized version of that name? Do you think?
Yes, the same. It's
Oh,
Russian traveler and
okay.
writer. He looks like
Oh, is he
Robinson
still alive? Is
Crusoe.
he? Is
Like
he still alive?
yes, of course, he's still alive. Recently, he crossed, I think, maybe Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean,
Mm.
something like that. And he travels alone everywhere.
Yes.
So you
And this,
heard about him. So he
I
has a
must say I
wife, he
haven't.
has
I
a
haven't.
children, so he
Oh
has a
yeah.
family.
Mm.
And
Wow.
now he's 73 years old.
You're kidding me. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So is he quite a fit person? It must be very fit, I know, but so does he look his age or is he very sunburned as a result of all this being outside traveling?
Uh, he looks like a Robinson Crusoe with his beard,
Yes.
hair.
So he doesn't really care how he looks. It's more the experiences and traveling. That's what he really thinks about. Oh, that's fascinating. So he's obviously this photo here, he's clearly looked after himself a little bit. He's a great big smile on his face, his beard.
Mhm.
So he is bearded. He looks quite well dressed, but it's a nicely kept.
Because this beard,
Hmm.
some men say it's warmer when they wear beard.
Yes, I suppose so. Yeah. I wonder where that was taken. So Cape Verde. So that's quite a warm area, I would have thought. Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau is quite warm. So I wouldn't say
Mhm.
you would need a beard. It might be a case of it might protect him from being bitten by flies or something.
Yeah, maybe it protect his skin.
Yeah. Okay. So is this a book he's published? So Flying by Thor Pederson, published at the end of this month. Oh, last month, I should say.
Mhm. Travel country. Okay.
Right. Okay. So we'll call it a day
I'm
there then.
going to go to Cuba on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not sure
Oh.
about Wi-Fi connection
Hmm.
next week. So,
Well, when I went there, they did have Wi-Fi, but it was very difficult communicating outside of the island. So
mm,
because they have very bad relationships with America, it was pretty much no relationships. So I think there were some connection problems, but they were really quite good. And what I think I had to do then was I had to buy like a card that would allow me to connect to their Wi-Fi system, pay in, say, perhaps in the hotel or wherever you were staying. And
mhm.
I think you could sort of contact generally, but I think you had to
Oh,
buy it
thank you
when
for
you're on
this
the island.
idea.
You
Thank
had to
you.
buy it on the island, as my
Mhm.
experience. But that was 80 or 10 years ago I went there, so things may have changed. And of course, they're really struggling at the moment, aren't they, with power shortages right now.
Mhm. Mm.
So
Yeah.
have you got a hotel booked up? Do you know if it's going to be
Yes,
fully
hotel.
powered?
Yeah, we will stay in Havana and Varadero.
I've heard of Havana, but where was the other one? You said
Varadero. It's a
Ab-
resort. Var
Abadadera.
Varadero.
Badadera. I haven't heard of that one. Yes.
Varadero.
We'll have a fantastic time.
Thank you.
I'm sure you will. And take lots of photos and do share them with me when you come back if you can.
Okay.
Or if you can, you might not be able to on this system. I don't know how you can do it, but we'll find out. If there's a will, there's a way. So great. Really, really enjoy yourself. I really love the place. It's so bright there. I find it really, really bright.
Yeah, Caribbean,
So
yes.
make sure you take sunglasses and sunscreen.
Oh, I've bought plenty of sunscreen and boots.
Yeah. I mean, boots. Yes, that's fantastic. And you're going with your partner, I take it, obviously.
Plenty.
Fantastic.
I will go with my daughter. She will
Oh.
fly from Moscow. I will fly from here.
Oh, right. Okay.
And we will meet each
Is
other.
it direct flights from Moscow to?
Yes, because
Okay.
historically it was a good relationship
Yes, I know.
between Russia, USSR, Russia now,
Yeah.
and
Well, even Russia as
Cuba.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I live here. My daughter lives in Moscow. So we meet each other there.
Oh, that's
So
quite
it's direct
something.
flights from Moscow to Havana and to Varadero. And I have to change flight in Paris.
Oh, in Paris. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
and
Okay.
it's no direct flight from
From
England
London.
to the.
I think I might have travelled from Manchester when I
Maybe
went.
from Manchester. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Strange.
checked it, but not from London.
Strange, isn't it?
Strange.
Maybe it's a small island. There's only a few couple of million people living there, isn't there? Have you been there before?
No, never.
Ah.
So far, I've never been so far.
I'm
Only
sure you really,
England.
really enjoy it. I'm sure you really will.
Have you ever been to Indonesia or
Indonesia.
Thailand? Is it the same or
I
big
must go
difference?
to. I know I've not been to the Far East. I've been to Australia,
Oh.
but not been to Thailand or anywhere around there. No, no. Been to China, Australia, but that's just that in the Far East. That's where only place I've been to really, as far as I can remember. But I must go to Thailand. The Thai people. I've met a few Thai people. They're so pleasant. They're so relaxed. They have a very outgoing nature. It seems.
Yeah, because it's religious by nature.
It's the way that it's just their nature, I think, too, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, to travel, it's amazing around the world.
Mm,
It's a dream to have time and money to travel
yes.
everywhere.
Yeah. Time and money. They're the two things. They're the two great things that restrict you. Restrict people in life, isn't it? Really, I think. Okay, so maybe we'll call it a day there. So I think you've done really well. I can really see you putting the effort in. So well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Okay,
for your time,
no
for
problem.
your patience.
That's okay.
No.
And see you then.
And have a great weekend.
Yeah, and have a great
Bank
trip.
holiday. Thank you.
Yes, have a great trip. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye, Tony.
Bye bye.